Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend. Here's the game settings, because people are always curious, and let's get in. So I didn't find any time over the weekend to record any extra episodes, but I do have a little bit of time today, so I think the plan is a double episode. We're going to make up for some of last week's lost time by recording 2 hours of me playing Endless Legend Inferno as these cultists today, and then later tonight, 2 hours of Endless Space. I think I should be able to make that go. So, things to focus on this game. First of all, starting in a better position. That would be good. Let's try to put all of our energy into pulling a better start here. Secondly, village conversions. We got to talk about village conversions. I didn't convert as many villages as I maybe could have last game. And part of that is because, in previous games with the cultists on Endless, I have found it very difficult to keep villages converted. The AI generally, and again this didn't happen last game, but in my experience, generally, aggressively hunts and destroys converted villages. Now, it may be the case that it didn't happen much last game, because of the fact that because of the improved AI patch or so, it may have changed the way the AI considers those things. Ooh, wow, look at that. Spiral rock peels and mineral rich right next to each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we might do a thing here. What is in this village? Eyeless Ones versus Saratan. Okay, hold on. Let me finish my earlier thought. So it may be the case that because of the new AI, the AI prioritizes destroying your converted villages less, and that would be really neat if it's the case. But it may also be a quirk of the geography, like they just didn't get over to see our villages very much. It may be that certain AI players don't hunt converted villages, but other ones do. So we'll have to keep an eye on how things are going. But in general, a converted village is a useful, powerful thing, right? Except in cases like this where it's only mining a couple of tiles. Although, even so, this is a fair amount of food. And it might even be worth intentionally optimizing our influence income to make that happen, to get more conversions. I'm not certain on that. Obviously, food and industry are pretty valuable things to have your population assigned to. Anyway, the other thing that... let's talk about this settle. So we do have an anomaly right here, but what I'm noticing about this location is that it's not particularly good for food or industry. We can get, if we settle here, we can get an okay amount of food. If we settle here, we can have... Oh, man. We can have as many as 5 points of industry. And food and industry are really, really important in your start. So I think it probably is worth delaying the settle for a turn to start over here, where we can see that there is going to be a ton of industry. Well, not a ton, but considerably more industry. And maybe also more food? So I'm going to have the settler go this way. We're going to have the hero split off and go up this way, I think. So what we're going to do is hero separates, and I think for the moment the hero searches the ruin. That's for sure. We find nothing in it, of course. This guy's gonna go up here and I think just join into this army for the moment. Now watch, minus 27 becomes minus 23. You are paying a dust upkeep per turn on each unit, but also on each army. So when we have 4 separate armies like we did there, we're really hemorrhaging a lot of dust. And so what I'm thinking about right now is whether we want to run the hero up into this army to minimize our dust loss, or whether I want to have the hero move to here instead so that he can go and get this temple ruin next turn. I think that's the better play. This guy goes and talks to the minor faction, this guy goes and hits the ruin, and we talk to this minor faction right now and see what they want. Turn to this village when you're ready to give them 50 dust. Okay, probably soon. Not right this second, though. If you are going to settle in a region and you have the ability to talk to the minor faction in the region before doing so, you should do that. Because there is one minor faction quest that asks you to settle in the region, and you can get that like on turn 1 even before settling. So sometimes the minor faction in your home region will pacify super easily and just give you free stuff just for putting down your first city. It's always worth checking. What else? We've met the Empire of Theramania. That's because the Draken have a special trait that makes them aware of every other player at the start of the game. They both meet every other player and also get to know where you spawned. They don't necessarily get to see your first city. They just know what tile your unit spawned on, and they get a little bit of vision around that. So they know roughly where everybody is. We don't get to know where they are, so this puts them at a little bit of an advantage on us. Okay, and we're meeting stuff, we're doing things. We gotta, we cannot start researching because we don't have a city yet, but when we do have a city, it's almost certainly going to be Mail Foundry. Okay, I think we're done, right? I feel like there was something else I was going to... Oh, right! The Legendary Deeds. So, be the first to activate 4 luxury boosters in order to get 130 gold. This would be cool to have. Also, be the first to destroy at least 10 armies to get tactical training. So, there are 2 versions of each of the top 2 legendary deeds in each era. The name of the deed is always the same. There's always Visionary Leader here. It always awards tactical training. But there are 2 different things that you can actually have to do to earn it. So, as we saw in the last game, one of them is Pacify 8 villages, which is a thing the player has absolutely got a reasonable shot at doing. The other one for this is be the first to destroy 10 armies. It is not possible for the player to get this. On high difficulties, the AI starts with so many units and will build so many more units so quickly that even if you fought at every single opportunity, you fought minor factions, and then, you need to have a little bit of time off for your units to heal up, but like, this may well pop before turn 10. The AI will take this. So that's a shame we don't get tactical training this game. Hopefully it will go to somebody where it won't have a huge effect. It's probably not that big of a deal. Like, I'm not worried about it. So let's send the Preacher out first. Just do a little bit of scouting. Oh, wow. Look at that. There's so many, like, beautiful clustered anomalies here. If this ruin wasn't here, interrupting it and making the shape of this really awkward, this settling location is still very good. We can settle here, get the exotics, and the mineral rich, and the spiral rock peel. We can do that this turn, right? Yeah, we have just enough movement. Look at that start. It's got 10 approval on it and everything. This was worth delaying a turn. Holy crap, that was worth delaying a turn. And because we're not in our starting region, this region has more villages. We know that there's at least 2, right? Because we got this quest from them that tells us that there's at least 2. I guess I didn't make that explicit. The second part of this quest, they ask you to give them 50 dust, and then once you give them 50 dust, they tell you to go to another minor faction village in the same region and either show them your hero, or give them 5 glass steel, or give them 5 titanium. So we know that there's at least 2 villages in our starting region, which means pacification will be immediately more valuable for us. I love this. This is a really, really good start for us. We also have emeralds, which are the worst luxury resource. This is whatever. Also, we have another player bordering us immediately, which is maybe good, maybe bad. Kind of depends on who they are. Okay, what else are we doing? We're doing all that stuff that I was talking about earlier with the searching of the ruins. Hold on. Before you search that ruin, talk to these guys. Oh, this region had wine in it. Also, it did have a really nice settling spot over here. Look at the resource output here. That's a 7. Yeah, like this spot would have been good. We started like here somewhere, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, somewhere in here. This would have been 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we could have made it here as well. It might have been at the beginning of turn 3 instead of the end of turn 2. That said, I'm glad we moved to a location that has multiple villages. Okay, did we get your quest? Give them 8 glass steel. I don't know, maybe. Maybe we'll just kill them all. Honestly, we're just gonna destroy that village. I don't particularly think it's valuable to us to give away a bunch of strategic resources in exchange for the pacification of a single village. Okay, and let's get going on the Founders Memorial. So, we have 2 turns until the research of Mill Foundry is done, because we actually have a good science output. And look at this. 6 of these 7 tiles have science on them. So the Geomic Labs is going to be strong. We actually could get... We could really get rolling on science this game. That might be a thing worth doing. We're 12 to 32 turns away from winter. So I'm wondering, is it like... It's Mill Foundry, then Cultivation, then Public Library. We'll get Cultivation so quickly that we could probably get some play out of the seed storage before winter happens? Maybe. Maybe. And then we want to put some effort into our Founders Memorial because we want to get it done as quickly as possible so we can immediately get on Mill Foundry. We can use Dust to push some stuff along in the early game. I think this is promising. Excuse me. I think this is very promising. So, we've been... Oh yeah, we've been given our faction quest, of course. I think what I'm going to do here is... We need to talk to this village. Now we have the dust to give them. I'm trying to figure out what the most efficient way of doing all the things I have to do this turn is. Because we wanna destroy the Saratan village so that we don't have to worry about it pumping out enemy units. Saratan are not great fighters, as we saw in the last game. The Saratan are the Driders. So they're not very good fighters. We can definitely clear them out with Andom quickly. That'll be good XP for him. So the question is, do I want Andom to be the one who comes down here and does this? There's a chance that we will be asked to take our hero to another village in this region. Let's get this done. This is the thing I don't want to worry about later. We'll have this guy talk to this village. We'll go and get that ruin afterward. Okay, we do not quite have the ability to include him in the battle. That's why I wanted to move him first, to see if to see how far away he was from the edge of the region. Alright, let's do it. This should be very, very easy. If Andom starts here with his 2... Oh no, there's a cliff. Let's see here. They have 2 move each. He's going to move to here. He has 3 range, though. I guess there's no version of this where I get to hit them first. Right, because we could stand far enough back that he moves to and doesn't have us in range of his 3 range attack. But if I do that, then next turn, I still can't move adjacent to him. So yeah, I think we just charge. The Preacher here has the Unleashed Potential buff, 10% all stats on a friendly unit for 3 rounds. This might be the worst support unit buff in the game. It's very not, like, 10% on these stats is not meaningful, right? It's more meaningful later in the game, but Preachers are just bad. They are not for combat. That's not the thing they do. The clue is right there in the name. Yeah, you just move to here. We'll get it figured out. Okay, now he gets to move to here. We want to do it from this side because we want to... These are both ranged units. Support units have the same thing that ranged units have, where adjacent enemies give them... I guess it's any unit that has a ranged attack, because it's part of the ranged capacity, not part of him being support. But anyway, -1 morale on these guys, right? That's the point. We do not need to buff our leader again. We just need to shoot stuff. Shoot stuff with our magic, our cult magic. Technically, he should probably be back a step so that he can't get attacked by this one. This one can't attack him because it doesn't have a turn, right? Andom is eating its turn. Okay. Now you two can work together to kill that guy. Honestly, we're taking more damage here than I thought we were going to. Okay. We did indeed fail the quest. That happened. None can argue it. So I think we'll leave these both for Andom for the XP, and also because it means we can take the Preacher down here and get some more vision. What have we? Sisters of Mercy. Alright. It's worth prioritizing the Sisters of Mercy. Every minor faction village, when you talk to it, it draws from a big pool of all the minor faction quests, but also there is a specific quest that can only show up for each minor faction. And the Sisters of Mercy specific quest is, it asks you to parlay with a bunch of different minor faction villages. So if you get it early, you can do that while you're still doing your initial exploration. You can maybe get a little bit lucky and convert them quickly. Remember, pacified villages matter for us because they have to be pacified before they can be converted into useful servants. Hey you, give them 50 dust. They would like me to bring 5 titanium to another village in the region. Well, let's hope we get lucky and discover some titanium, shall we? Shall we sit here and hope? Okay, so that was dust. Okay, they would like me to destroy a Saratan village in Shimlor. This is into Shimlor, right? Okay. Well, we do have some experience destroying Saratan villages. That may be a thing we can do. So we found in here another 30 dust, it looks like. And then here, 5 titanium. Nope, we found the Delusions of Grandeur quest. Well, at some point we're going to get 15 influence for free. That's pretty cool. I think we still want Andom to be our governor. Influence Boost 2 is so useful, and also the Cultist Tree is so useful. Let's continue to focus on governing skills. Do up the Mill Foundry. And as soon as we have Founders Memorial finished, I'm not sure how this goes, what order these things happen in. It looks to me like 2 additional food. 2 additional food might cause us to get a population point on the next turn, but I'm not sure if it counts up the food or completes the construction queue first. So this will actually be an interesting opportunity to find that out. City growth stock is currently 23. No, it wouldn't give us the point anyway. The limit is 34, so we would be at... I guess these values might be truncated though. Like it might actually be 23, but it also could be like 23.6. Who knows? I bet it would round up if it was 0.6. Anyway, the point is, that says 23. We're gonna hit end turn here. Now it says 32. So we did not get the Founders Memorial built first then. It put the food into the pile, then it processed the industry. That's probably a good thing to know, right? Hey, Vaulters. I can't help but notice that you're inside my border right now. That is a titanium deposit right there. Do we want to grab Alchemist's Furnace before Public Library? Because of the fact that Alchemist's Furnace is part of our part of pacifying our minor faction, I'm going to say yes. And then we should question whether we want to kill these Marines, because we could, right? The Preacher is a garbage unit, but we have 4 militia right here. You know what? I'm not 100% sure 4 militia beats 2 Marines. Especially if the terrain, like... It's going to put our units over here and force us through this bottleneck, and they have range, and we don't know if their city... That's an exploitation tile. So if I attacked, they would get their city garrison. Hold on a second. Let's run the rest of the turn first. Let's run other parts of this. I'm going to explore up this way. Well, there's that Saratan village that I am to destroy. Don't see any ruins. We do see a dragon tree. Dragon trees are cool. I'm thinking about snapping my hero back and, like, doing a thing here. Debating whether that is suicide. Because here's what I'm thinking. We don't know for sure whether this is their home region that we're next to. That's in part because I just, like, wasn't paying enough attention. But we saw this blue border pretty early, right? This could be their home region. If we snap our hero back to this army, maybe equip him with some basic gear, just give him every advantage we can give him. We attack this army. They include their garrison as reinforcements in a bid to actually defeat us. And we win, it would leave their city with no garrison. And we could run over there and just burn the thing down and kill another player right away, get a stockpile, you know. My concern with that... you know what? Actually, it probably wouldn't even work, right? Because even if we won this battle, that garrison would regenerate because we're not sieging the city. Right? So yeah, that's probably not even worth doing. And if we leave our hero up here, we can try to destroy the Saratan village. And get some pacification over here, which can turn into some conversion over here. And then they could provide us with wine, which would be neat. But also, like, what if it worked, though? Let's hold on. We're gonna create a save here. I know I don't usually do this. Sure, cultist turn 5. I don't usually do this. We're gonna create a save here and try it because I'm really curious if this could work. Like, what's the version of this where we're trying the hardest? We equip Andom with some... Oh no, that's right. Heroes actually already have gear, and we probably don't want to bother equipping the preacher with stuff because, like, who cares, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it matters. Right now he has slowed down. We could change his attack to lower enemy attack instead, which is maybe more valuable than removing their move speed. And then, like, give him shoes. You know, he's a terrifying preaching robot, but he got feet. We are not close to being able to rush this. Yeah, let's try this as hard as we possibly can. We're not in range of their city. Okay, well, we do get to just kill their units. This is XP for our hero. It does mean that I don't get to destroy that. Well, that's a lot less exciting then if I'm not getting their city garrison. That was kind of the whole point of that experiment. Never mind, we'll just reload and keep doing things the way we were doing them. Think about it, man. If we had been able to, if we'd been able to get in there and murder their city garrison in an incidental combat at the very beginning of the game, that's exciting. It's an exciting idea. It does mean that there's more room for other players to expand into. I'm actually not certain that eliminating another player this early is good for us, because it does give other players more room to expand into. Okay, so on the normal path here, if we attack them, they may just retreat, but they might not, without Andom here, and we might not win that battle. And if we didn't win that battle and we damaged our city garrison badly enough, like that could be bad. I think we probably don't attack. Also, let's not antagonize our neighbor when we don't have the ability to fight at all. Also, if I lost this preacher, it would actually be a real inconvenience for us at this moment. So we have to be able to see the titanium in order to build the extractor, I believe. I think that's a real thing. So let's do this. We had a birth. Hooray. And we knew that was going to happen. So we're going to get cultivation up next turn. You know, this is early enough that we'll probably be able to take good advantage of it before winter happens. Do I want to just go straight into battle here? We don't have all of our health, but we might be able to just take them. It would be inconvenient to have our hero get damaged out. It's not super expensive to heal them with dust and get them back in action, but it's also more than we have, for sure. I guess there's no point in doing it right now. We can give him one more turn of healing and then do it, since he's out of movement already anyway. And you're just gonna wait right where you are, because we need to head back up this way. Now that we share a common frontier, we can keep an eye on each other. They just searched that ruin right in front of me. My ruin, right in front of me. You believe these guys? Okay, so our hero regenerated an extra 11 health there. Let's do it. Let's free their people. I think we can do this. We're having the same problem here that we were having before, where it's just like... There's no version of this where I don't take damage on the approach. But it's not a lot of damage. Weird, our hero apparently just stared that Drider to death, which is cool, I guess. Okay. Endom is the scourge of the Drider people. Oh, we have to return to the tribe's village. Well, alright, I'll grab this ruin and then we'll do that. Good news, though. They gave us spices, which is a pretty good luxury booster, and also gets us started on this. So we are currently rank 1 on this quest. It would be neat to get 130 gold. The luxury booster is not quite as vital in this game as it was in our last game, and as it is in many games as cultists, because we started on top of a resource that, or a luxury, an anomaly rather, that gives approval. So our base level of approval is already happy. We may as well pop this as well. Yeah, there's no sense waiting. A little bit more dust for us. 5 extra dust per turn. Not nothing. Obviously, we're going to snap Endom back pretty soon, but I wanted to try to get as much value out of him as we could over here. Also, we're still looking for a source of free and easy titanium. It would be really neat if I did not have to mine 5 titanium to pacify our miner faction. Let those guys leave so that I'm not losing additional movement. When you move adjacent to another player's army, it costs more movement. Okay, so we only got 2 miner faction villages. I'm not going to lie, I was hoping for 3. 2 turns to seed storage. And then another 4 turns to the husbandry center. I mean, let's not queue this, because I want all of the industry rollover from the seed storage to go into the alchemist furnace. And then once we have the husbandry center up, we'll move over to food. I think it's worth building the seed storage now. I think we have enough time before the next winter. So over here first. We know what we're doing over here. Nothing. Great. Great. Good find. We're going to go around the top way here, just so that we get some extra vision on our way back. We should get there before anything spawns. I think the minor factions can start to spawn armies at turn 10, maybe? We can talk to these Seratan. Maybe get a quest from the ones we didn't murder. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about our neighbor, but that aside, I like this start a lot. We don't know who Pink is, but we do know that they are expanding. Return to this village with 3 minor faction units. Well, that's not going to be happening. And we found nothing. Man. The chance of a ruin being empty, I believe, is only 20%. Looks like we are, in fact, going to have to Alchemist Furnace for this. That's fine. It's something we can do. That is extremely doable. Now, I will say that I don't love Eyeless Ones as our home region faction. I do not think that they provide anything super valuable to our army. Okay, we could convert the... or we could pacify the Gelderus by managing our empire plan carefully. I suppose that's fine. Let's just keep looking around the regions adjacent to our home region now. Okay, so next turn we'll get that pacification. And then, I don't remember how much your first village pacification is. We might be able to convert this village right away. Yeah, it's 22, okay. Tribe in this region doesn't want to negotiate. What? What makes them think that that's optional? Actually, we should probably search that ruin. And it's getting to be about time to pop Andom back home. I think he's done some good exploring, but his people need him. Also, I should, queue up the thing. Alright, so next turn we're going to have a birth. Unfortunately, it's going to be like 7 turns before we get this conversion, but when we do that, we'll get 2 more population. Or the pacification. We'll get a point of population from the conversion here. So, I mean, we're working. We're getting people. So, yeah, we search that, and then probably, honestly, that's it. Probably we pop him back after that. Alright, somebody just hit Era 2. We parlayed. Oh, they gave us 15 titanium. Right. Quest rewards. That's a thing I should be thinking about. Let's have a quick chat with you. You would like me to activate 2 boosters to prove my wisdom and power, and if I do that, not only will they be pacified, but they'll give me this weird skull they found. The some subterranean beast this is made out of. I mean, you know, cultures, everybody has their own different way of showing respect, I guess. Hey, we fought a monster, and we hollowed out its head, and here it is. Please put it on your head to show that you love us. So what are we doing with this guy now? I guess he could head up here. There's a little bit of exploration left to do. We're coastal, but we're bottom of the continent in the middle coastal. So we don't really have ocean access. Ooh. Okay, Ardent Mages again. Well, let's search this. Okay, we actually found 70 dust that time. That's a fair amount of dust. You know, we might want to unlock the hero marketplace relatively early here. We might be able to get a second hero if we get just a little bit lucky. Oh, you know what? The dust eclipse, right? The dust eclipse is going to come. We're going to get a bunch of extra dust. Actually, there's not a lot of temple ruins. There's one here. Yeah, we might be able to hire a second hero really early, and giving our military hero more time to get XP and stuff is valuable. I am going to snap our hero back because I think he's probably just going to get attacked. We leave him out there. That'll help us with construction a little bit. 3 turns to the husbandry center. Actually have like good income now. We're gonna get that conversion next turn. Yeah, man, this is going all right. We're not totally surrounded by monstrous enemies. There's no necrophages breathing down our necks or anything. A lot of the parts of this are going okay. Andom's over here leveling up, getting even more science and even more influence. There's a lot of Marines in my territory, which is to say that I am concerned that they are going to attack us. So we brought 5 titanium to these eyeless ones. We've now pacified the village. Marine 3. They're going to try to kill me. Well, with Andom and 4 militia here, they can't, right? But they could siege us, and it would be awkward. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pop the Justiciar out and start running her this way. And the reason I'm doing this is that I want a unit that can engage combat. I think there's a chance that our Preacher is going to get killed right at the beginning of this turn. And if they are able to... I guess we can get him close enough. Yeah, okay, we can get him close enough that the city will participate in that. So maybe she's not necessary. But I was just thinking, if he gets killed over here, we want a unit who can engage in combat. Because we, unfortunately, this is not total war, and we cannot sally out with the garrison to attack sieging enemies. You, go find me some more ruins. Actually, there's an unexplored area over here, even. Wow. Look at this village. It's like the worst conversion I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen a village be surrounded by border on 5 sides before. That's crazy. So, after this is finished, we gotta talk about the Empire plan, I suppose. Obviously, I'd like to do at least that. So, 28 points is a little rough. Never mind, we're at +8 now with Andom in here. We're gonna be fine. So then we also have to be thinking about assimilation. Right now our options are eyeless ones, and assimilating the eyeless ones is actually pretty cool right now because at the moment we're at 80 approval. It's going to be the case for 5 more turns. Assimilating the eyeless ones would put us up to 90 because there's 2 of their villages nearby, and that means that we would be at Fervent, plus 30%, all non-influence resources. That's certainly interesting. Or we could grab the Sisters of Mercy for some extra health regen, which is not very good, but the Justiciar unit is a lot better in our army than the eyeless ones are. The Kikator is basically just like a slightly better Preacher in terms of combat. No, it's pretty considerably better, actually. The healing halo, like the healing thing they do is cool. I really don't care for Preachers. Mash that button. I'm a little concerned. Yep, and they're running even more units over here. So once we get the Husbandry Center finished, we got to think about military. I am going to bring our Justiciar over and plant her in the garrison for now. Okay, no ruin here. That's a shame. Go check over here. Maybe these guys will want to give us a quest now. I'm not sure why they didn't before. It's possible that they will care now. We still have all this to explore as well. So we need, after Public Library, 3 more techs to move forward into the next era. It looks like sewers the sewers are good for us, but maybe not necessary. We could get approval from the Central Market instead or something. So we're probably skipping sewer. We probably do need Empire Mint. We probably do want Open Pit Mine. I believe minor factions will not give you the luxuries in their resources unless you have the appropriate luxury tech. So like we're not getting the wine from that village right now. Pretty sure. It is, however, giving us both glass, steel, and titanium, which is cool. Also, it actually says when you're going to get the next unit from it, which is something that I had not noted before. So yeah, we do need that, and we're going to need Mercenary Market eventually. I think let's take it now. There's a chance that the Dust Eclipse is going to give us enough dust to hire a hero, but after we get that, we're going to need Empire Mint, probably. And then one more tech queued up. We could grab our own cavalry. But I think let's make it the Open Pit Mine for now. Even if we don't need the wine personally, we can trade it to people. We can sell it, you know. It's worth having. And I'm not going to worry about boats right now. Obviously, it would be cool eventually to get out on the ocean, but I think like the odds that we're going to take over any sea regions are pretty low. Making me really nervous. By the way, it was pointed out to me, part of the reason I'm doing this is so that we will have a unit available to start a battle if we need to. But another thing that was pointed out to me is that the passive XP gain from heroes and cities is based on the size of the garrison. You can see it's plus 1 XP per turn right now. The base rate is 1 XP per turn plus 1 XP per turn for each non-militia unit in the garrison. So her being over here will also give Andom extra XP. And then we have 1 turn until the public library stuff's available. Do we want to... What do we want to do? We're mostly going to build our city out and up. This ruin is like super awkward for us. Which is a shame, because there's a really good anomaly right there. We could build a borough right now. I don't think we should build a preacher. We can't assimilate this turn, so we can't build a minor faction military unit. Plus 1 XP per turn on the army that's kept in the city, plus the fortification. That's probably reasonable. And you... head up here and ask these guys if there's anything they'd like us to do for them now. Oh, there is. They'd like me to give them 50 dust. And then something else, probably. I'm not going to do that at the moment. Because we're thinking about maybe hiring a hero. So heroes, the cost of heroes goes up over time, and it's very cheap in the early game, and then it rises pretty sharply for a little while, around like turn 20, I want to say. So if we can get some dust from this temple ruin, and then search it again once the eclipse starts, we have a temple ruin here, we'll be able to search with the sister. Like, we should have enough money to hire a hero. Start getting a military hero leveled up. Get our public library going, and we should really pull everybody over to food. Yep, and they are still very clearly threatening me. So make it clear to them that we are not alone. I have friends, powerful friends. Hey, emeralds. But we can't pop the booster because we have a converted city now, so we need 12 resources. Okay, did I get a quest from you from this region already? I totally did not. They just don't want to negotiate. Alright, after we've got this public library finished, it is 6 turns until the market. I mean, we could just put together the infantry cantina, make ourselves really safe, and then think about boroughs, maybe, or minor faction units, because we have enough influence to assimilate now. I kind of want to put together this Eyeless Ones thing, because it's going to make us, for only 2 more turns, we would be fervent. Yeah, I guess if it's only 2 turns, that's a little bit less compelling as a way to spend 30 influence. Maybe we should take the sisters. I don't love this, but their military unit is a lot better for us. It's still not very good, to be clear, but it's better. Man, Kikadors have more health. Attack 16, defense 24... The benediction trait, I believe, is like a passive healing. It's healing and maybe debuff removal on units adjacent to the sister at the end of her turn, which is cool. Just a lot more defense. Maybe we should take this, because this amount of approval is not going to be relevant at almost any point in the game. It's relevant right now, but if we build a single approval structure, then we're passively above. I guess it's just not true that it's not going to be relevant at any point in the game, because as we're building out boroughs, we're moving our approval value up and down a lot, right? I think for right now, I would rather have sisters than Eyeless Ones. There's 2 turns where it will be really good to have these guys assimilated, and then I will wish I had assimilated the sisters, basically. Yeah, I think so. We have to get some actual infantry. So, instead of building an infantry cantina, we build a couple of military units. And, given that they're kind of bad anyway, maybe I don't want to equip them with anything. I want to keep their cost as low as possible and just fill my garrison, so that we have the extra XP on Andom every turn. 3 XP is not a lot, but 3 XP that many times, you know, every turn for the rest of the rest of the game, certainly adds up. Okay. Things are going. We're going. I don't think I want to rush the science. Like, I think I want to get on food and just, like, really, really push population for a while. Because, man, it's good to have population as these guys. Still not even dust eclipse time, which means that winter is at least 3 turns away, right? Because there's a 1-turn warning that it's going to become the eclipse. Everything gets dark. And then there's at least 1 turn of eclipse, and then there's at least 1 turn of summer after the eclipse before winter starts. So it looks like we're going to get a pretty late winter, which means that seed storage we built is going to pay out extremely handsomely. I feel really good about that. Okay. One more try? Nope. Alright. Hey, look at that. Oh, it's telling me they don't want to negotiate. We already have a thing from them. It should tell me that. 40 dust. Yeah, we're probably going to be able to hire a hero. 30 more dust. So, what does this guy do now? We have explored as much as we can explore on this side of the continent. We just basically just head home. So we could head across. We could try to skirt the edge of Ardent Mage territory. I'm a little worried about getting attacked by the Ardent Mages. But I suppose that's a reasonable thing to do. Yeah. Reasonable. I think that we're doing a lot of reasonable things right now. Now, we are going to have to pay extra dust upkeep for these units that we're keeping in the garrison. I'm hoping that that the XP will turn out to be worth it. Yep, our booster has ended, so we are back to being merely happy, which is also the thing that we already were. We're not giving you 50 dust because I don't care. Should we go back? Actually, should we go back and convert this village? It's far away from enemies. I think it'll be relatively safe. In terms of Empire Plan, we're almost certainly just doing this. We could lower unit costs, but I don't think we're going to need to. We could get economy and population that does pacify somebody, but like we're talking 28 or 56. We're going to get another 24. So we can't quite afford to do this conversion. I am going to turn this guy around and get this village. We can't quite afford to do this conversion and also get our Empire Plan unless we move some people to influence, but we can totally do that. Like, that's okay. Or we just wait until the turn after the Empire Plan and then get the conversion, right? Like, that's also fine. Okay, this region does have 3 villages in it, so it would be a cool place to do some conversions if we can get them pacified. I think we're in a much better spot than we were last game. It's hard for me to tell conclusively. Go ahead and get down there. You search this ruin for me. Found a volcanic region up here. Okay, some haunts. We can maybe get lucky here and get an easy quest. Next turn, we're gonna know on this mercenary market thing, and we're having population growth super quickly. So you can see Andom is now actually he's at plus 4 XP per turn, so it's not plus 1 for each unit. Interesting. It's even better than that. I feel pretty okay about that one. And we're not paying that much dust upkeep for them because they're low level, and I believe the upkeep you pay for a unit does scale with its level. Okay, 70 dust, pretty lucky. They want 8 glass steel. Well, I'm probably not willing to do that. we're not actually... I can't interact with them. I was going to check the conversion cost. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. For the second village. We may have to move some people over to influence. For just a minute here. Because I want to get that village converted next turn, right? Yeah, he'll reach it next turn. You know what? Let's just do a turn of that. That'll solve it. Oh, also, hero, right. Hold on. Let's look at buying a hero before we speak to any more villages. So I don't waste any opportunities to grow our XP. So, first of all, we're definitely doing that. Actually, you know what we can do first is we can actually move adjacent to the village and just look at the conversion cost. Okay, it's 42. So we can do this and also get the conversion this turn. I don't think the economy and population move is actually worth making. Right? Where was it that they wanted us to do that? The Gelderus in Vedra. Is that's this region? Yeah. Converting, I'd be a little nervous about this conversion on account of blue destroying the villages. Yeah, I don't think I care about that. Like, we would convert this first. We would convert these guys up here first. So yeah, I'm not too worried about that quest, and I don't think we're actually going to assign a lot of people to dust. At least I'm going to try not to. So I'm comfortable making this move, and then let's go and look at heroes. How expensive are heroes right now? 314. Okay. Totally viable. We are going to have to assign some people to dust for a turn or two, but it shouldn't be too bad. Because we're working on Empirement now. So, looking for a commander. Rebos Rockstriker Highridge has Army Boost 2 and is a ranged hero and has 51 attack, 32 damage. Honestly, pretty good combat stats. I like this guy quite a bit. What else do we have options for here? I would prefer it to be a ranged hero. Or like an infantry hero, maybe. Or cavalry. Cavalry's good. Makaniche also has Army Boost 2. Also has pretty good stats. Nala, Army Boost 2, but a support hero with less murder power. I really, really do like to have a ranged hero as my first commander. Feeds on Bones is Army Attack Boost 1. That's pretty unimpressive. Army Attack Boost 3. So I should talk about Army Boost. Army Boost is a pretty small overall buff, but you can have Army Boost and it stacks with all of the other individual stat boosts. Whereas if you take a hero who has like Army Damage Boost, you can't benefit from the trinket that gives you Army Damage Boost in that case. So this is kind of like thinking in the long term. I'll be able to get more stats out of the hero by taking this and then also getting the individual stat boost trinkets, even though it's maybe less effective in the immediate term. This guy has attack boost 3. I mean, that's powerful. That's a lot of attack. Yeah, 15 plus 40%. And he is ranged. He's 55 attack, 38 damage. He doesn't have as much defense or initiative. He's not as fast as Rabos. And then he is a Wild Walker. So he gets 50% bonus attack on forest tiles, and then kind of has nothing relevant in his faction area as far as combat goes. While Rebos is an Alayi, which means, again, basically... Well, actually, Pathfinder is pretty good for a single point. And then Shifter Nature and Shifting Nova, which I actually like quite a lot. I think Shifting Nova is a great skill. I think we're going to take Rock Striker, but I think it's close. This dude's good. Also, Rock Striker's a little cheaper, which does factor in a small amount. We'll assign the Rock Striker over here. Get a little bit of an XP boost immediately. And then you can join up in this army, I suppose. And we do have to assign some people to dust. Hopefully we won't have to do this for very long, but I do think it's worth making the moves that we made there. So how many people can I move over and still get the population growth? I have to keep this many. So we're going to lose quite a bit of dust this turn. Get that 1 point of population growth, and then we'll tough it out as we have to until we can build our Empire Mint, which will get us back on track. There's not a lot of dust from the... Oh, no, never mind. I was going to say there's not a lot of dust from our terrain, right? But actually, these tiles up and to our right are pretty good. Who else has stuff to do? You now need to... I guess just head in the direction of usefulness. We do want to convert this village, right? You probably just head up here. Okay, here's another player. Oh, this is the Draken. Okay. Yeah, I think things are going well. I've really trained myself on this this hour-long episode thing. I was just like, that feels like a stopping point, right? And I look over, and there it is, 55 minutes. So we've now converted minor faction villages into the cult. We're moving our faction quest forward. Need to assimilate a minor faction, which we've already done, so that'll auto-complete at the beginning of next turn. Get ourselves some glass steel, and we could make a move on the industrial megapole, maybe. Seems like the AI doesn't prioritize it very highly, so who knows? Maybe we could get it. These guys would like for me to go fight some monsters that are in a ruin that is extremely distant. That is a green tile. I don't know how clear that is, but this is green's land. So green is on the other side of those players, which is interesting information. Okay, we continue to run around and explore. We gotta assign one more person to dust this turn. I'm gonna try to keep our growth happening as much as possible here, so pulling the fewest people off of food that we can afford to pull. Throw the Empire Mint on there. That's going to be +5, +15%. Then we could go for the museum. We'll always be at least happy, so this is just 20% dust and science, or maybe we should take that. You know how I feel about that megapole. We could, if we're going to do both of them, if it actually turns out to be the case that it's reasonable to do both of them, you definitely want to do them in this order, industrial, then museum. And it kind of seems like the AI doesn't care about them. We got to get the Empire Mint done first, though. That's for certain. At some point, this thing is going to trigger, right? At some point, the dust eclipse will occur. We should convert these guys. That's probably going to be, I think it was 42? Or no, 42 is the one we just did. 78 is the next one. So in order to have 78 in the next couple of turns, we'd have to really nerf our growth, because we'd have to pull people over to this. But that's... maybe that's worth doing. We're talking about losing 50 food. 50 food for 15 influence. But we would get all these tiles, right? There's not a lot of value on these tiles, honestly. Why couldn't you be next to the anomaly? We'd also be pulling the wine in even faster. And does this region have strategics? It has glass steel, so we'd be getting glass steel faster too, which is valuable because we don't have native glass steel mining. Ooh, also, pink is expanding toward us, toward our villages remarkably quickly, which makes me nervous. This village might not stick around, even. How much are we hurting our growth? We go from 4 turns to birth to 14 turns. If we had taken the +3 dust per citizen thing, we'd be able to cut, like, 2 of these people. Or, Yeah, it probably was not worth doing. Yeah, all right, let's do it. Let's take a couple of turns of reduced growth. We're gonna try going harder on conversion here. My intuition on this is that this is a kind of a weak play. But we'll see. Also, man, look at this. If we'd been able to get up here quickly, settle right there, and then expand out to get these two anomalies shortly afterward, that would be pretty cool. It's all right. We have a reasonable amount of room to grow into here. We can also snake some districts out to grab these other anomalies. The position of like this and this together is really awkward. I wish you could eventually develop the ability to dynamite off these mountain tiles. All right, we're gonna stick with the plan where we are being better at conversion. You get to end your turn adjacent to the village. We won't be able to convert it next turn either, so we'll short step next turn, and then at the beginning of the turn after that, we'll convert it. And yep, we lost this because we could not boost this stuff because we had converted villages. So that is a shame. I would have liked that gold, but I don't think it's a big deal. We are not going to lose the game because of that. And purple's covering quite a bit of territory already. I guess this is all one region. Hope this ruin in Rothkalar has some good stuff in it. So now that the garrison's totally full, Andom is seeing plus 6 XP per turn, which is a little bit better than plus 1 per unit. I think that's going to be significant, right? Because we're talking about fairly low numbers to level up. And of course, he's still getting XP boosts every time anything completes in the city. But yeah, I think that, first of all, that's going to make players less likely to want to attack us, especially since they can't tell that these are bad units. And secondly, the extra XP on him leading to extra yields more quickly is going to be significant. Alright, keep going. At some point here, there's going to be a dust eclipse. I'd actually be extremely cool with that being soon. Oh, we've become aware of the Center of Influence facility because it is stealing my influence. Also, somebody finally got tactical training. It actually took a lot longer than it usually does. Hold on a second. You guys come over here and give me a little bit more vision? No, can we not? We just barely don't have the vision for that. I want to see if this is neutral or not. Because if it's neutral, then maybe developing some ship tech and going over and grabbing it real quick so that we can get a boost to our influence gain would be pretty neat. But if it's owned by somebody else, then probably not worth the effort. Because it will be a lot of effort, as we saw last time. Also, what is with all these regions that have wine in them? There's an unusual amount of wine on this map. Okay, 30 dust, that's cool. That lets us pull a couple more people for the turn. How much influence do I really need? We're way off of the next Empire plan. And I needed like 78 for this. So actually, I'm going to move a lot of people to food. We need to get 9 points of influence. We need to keep the population rolling, right? Am I going to redline our dust? I really, really want to keep the population rolling. Alright, we're going to do this for now. By the way, we do have to pay an upkeep cost for each village that we're maintaining, I believe. That listed anywhere? No, I think there's a dust upkeep on each village. Obviously, the villages are gathering dust as well, so it's not, like, crippling, but it's also not nothing. A thing worth thinking about. Okay, our guy is not immediately in danger. Oh, it's 129 now, all of a sudden. Why did that go up? And why did it go up by so much? It's probably... I was about to say it's probably the era changeover, but we actually haven't done that yet. Huh, I'm not sure why that became so expensive. Well, let's reassign the number of people to dust that we have to keep ourselves solvent. If I put everybody on this, I would get nowhere near 129. Like, how long am I going to hang out here and wait? I guess this unit doesn't really have anything important to be doing anyway. I would love to talk to that village, but... You know, maybe it's okay. Maybe we go talk to the village, get attacked, and just retreat. But see, I'd be exactly out of movement. So I could get attacked right now, retreat, and then get attacked again at the beginning of the next turn. Maybe we're better off just going around the lake here. Okay, we gotta make sure that we are moving immediately, because otherwise these men will kill me. AI hates it when you are scouting, or living, or doing anything. See, this would lock us to permanent... well, to nearly permanent fervent, which is awesome. If we went for this, let's say we tried this, and we built it here. I would probably... I want to build it here? 225 versus 36. Yeah, I want to build it here. I think. Three, 2, 4. Trying to figure out where I'm most likely to actually like put down all this stuff to level it up and everything. Because right now these tiles are not great, being 1/1 each. Because these tiles are not... See, you can see this is 1/1/2 because it's getting +1 dust from being coastal water. This is not counted as coastal water because you actually can't access it from the land. If I'll click this off, you can see there's cliff all around it. So expanding out to grab these tiles isn't really that great in the long run. I'd probably be better off expanding out this way. Like, I do want to be able to build ships, though. And at some point to build a cargo dock. Yeah, let's put it here. So we do that, and then we move people off of influence, and I just say, like, you know what, we'll come back for this village. We're looking at 12 turns. That's doable. I'm okay with that. At some point, we'll have enough wine to pop it as a booster to go to Fervent. That'll help with a lot of our situation here. Yeah. I think we're just going to generate base influence for a minute here, because I want to get the megapole established. And then we can worry about this village afterward. It's not even a very good village. Oh, you know what? You know why this one's so much more expensive than the cost we saw up here? Is because it costs extra influence to convert a destroyed village. I forgot about that. But you have to pay extra influence because you're rebuilding it and converting it at the same time. Okay, so yeah, we'll just not worry about this for right now. We could sell off some of our units. I thought oh, that's right. I was going to say, I thought I remembered that you needed to have access to the marketplace to do this, but yeah, we totally do. So we can, like, sell off some units, first of all, to make some dust, and secondly, to lower our upkeep. And use that to put all these guys on here to cut more time off. Yeah, alright, let's do that for right now. Do I want to sell another unit? We could sell the Preacher out of this army. That would mean that we couldn't convert stuff anymore until... Right, because I think this guy can't convert stuff even though he's properly one of our units because he's not a cultist. We could sell this guy. Or we could just rely on this guy finding ruins. We're going to be okay on dust. I'm going to focus. Let's get this done in 9 turns. And then we'll have access to the water. We can build ships and stuff. I think this is right. You have got to move immediately. You go here instead. Okay, found 70 dust. Cool. And that's a huge Gelderus. So we're going to move away from that. Hopefully the Gelderus will distract the Vaulters. Alright, so that was enough dust to keep us running for quite some time. Now, let's talk about our Tier 2 options here. We could get access to Nameless Guard, which I do not hate doing. That's totally a thing that might be valuable. This is probably not relevant. We could get military tech, like... Blue is probably going to just take over the game. The way that we have seen Vaulter factions take over the game previously. So I think it behooves us to get in a position to stop that from happening now. We can be relatively aggressive now. So, like, our next couple of researches are, like, Nameless Guard and Meritocratic Promotion and make titanium weapons, maybe? We already have a military hero, so alchemical armor does have value in terms of giving us access to those accessories. But even so, alchemical alloys probably gives us more punch. What alchemical armor does is also gives us access to the accessories for our for Andom, so that we can improve the amount of dust and science being produced by the people in our city that are working dust and science. However, I don't know how much we're actually going to be doing that. Also, canal locks, right? We should probably have gotten this a lot earlier last game. And maybe we get canal locks now, so that we can build the units more effectively. Let's get Nameless Guard. We need Nameless Guard, we need Meritocratic Promotion, we need some kind of... I really don't want to fight them with an army. It's composed entirely of Preachers and Sisters of Mercy. Okay. So you guys are just going to go and do what? Fight minor faction villages, maybe? Oh, hey. Another Justiciar spawned, which we are probably selling. She is level 2. That's not nothing. Also, the cultists wish to study the ruins. I need to study these temple ruins with 2 level 2 minor faction units. So actually this Justiciar has value to me right now as a level 2 minor faction unit. Let us go and collect her. And when is this village going to spawn another unit? It's going to be 9 turns. So if we did convert this village, it would immediately have a level 2 minor faction unit in it. Or we could just build another Justiciar, right? I could sell this one and put another one in the queue. Also, I guess we should get the Emerald Extractor up at some point. Are any of them close to leveling? Honestly, these guys are getting reasonable XP from being in the garrison thanks to the garrison XP building that we built. This one's going to hit level 2 faster than a unit's going to spawn from here. So I think what we're going to do is have Rabos come over to Erendla and pick up that other Justiciar, and then we'll handle that. And actually, can I please pin this so that I will not forget to do it? Okay. Merge you in here. Oh, apparently we've formally encountered some Fomorians. Somebody got Intelligence Core having 30 units at the same time. It was Red. Okay. Red has a massive, massive army. We don't know Red, right? Okay. Oh, I'm going to lose this preacher. Because I'm going to retreat from the ice wargs, and then we're going to get immediately attacked by them. That sucks. Let's make sure we have you selected on the map. Retreat and run. Nope. Yeah, the enemies ganged up on me. I don't have any action points, so I'm not allowed to retreat. Yep, and then of course the Vultures move away. The Ice Wargs and the Vultures have no interest in each other, only in fighting me. Well, the good news is that we, Ooh, so do I want to do this, actually? Because we could just get moving. The 15 free influence that we just got means that this conversion becomes a little bit more reasonable. It was 129? Like, how many people can I divert without adding a turn to the megapole? None. We are just barely pulling 7. Hang out here for 3 turns, get this conversion, get some resources out of it, and get that unit, and leave Arendla full, so Andom is getting maximum XP. Yeah, Rabos has not done a lot of value for us, but I think this is right. He's going to just stand around here. He's basically just been standing around. And his passive XP is similarly based on the number of units in his army. Okay, they actually are building the legendaries, so yeah, we do have to focus on this if we want to have a good chance of getting it. Blue is still running around in my territory, making me real nervous. 129. So I need to stand here for a couple turns. Yeah, that's the right thing to do. I'm pretty sure. I do want to convert this. I do want to have more stuff. So yeah, just chill. We'll keep building. I can't pull even one person off. It's a shame. In 4 turns, we're gonna have another birth. The Dust Eclipse also has to happen quite soon for Winter to be in 6 turns. So actually, I'm gonna move him closer to this ruin. I think we're gonna have a chance to search this ruin in a second. Nope, just straight into Winter. Huh. I didn't realize that was possible. For there to not be a Dust Eclipse. Well, that changes some things. Because now, obviously, our dust situation is a little bit more dire. Alright, that's lucky. That's 11 pearls right there somehow. Okay. Rabos is in dark form now. When he's in dark form, he has extra vision, which is why we can now see the fortress. So he'll be good at looking for pearls. Unfortunately, he does not convey his bonus winter movement to his army. A unit that's entirely made of Alayi units is really fast and dangerous during the winter. I love this faction, by the way. Alayi might still be my favorite faction. Morgar are also really cool. So let's pop our units out and just grab stuff real fast. And we're gonna have to take a hit on the megapole, because we can't keep everybody working on it. We have to do some dust stuff. So how many people can I move off? Not very many. We can keep it to 6 turns if I do this. This Justice here will be able to get back into the garrison next turn. Yeah, this is rough. This is really rough. We're going to have enough pearls to build our altar, though, which is cool. In the previous games we've played, it's always been summer, eclipse, winter. But maybe it doesn't have to be. Or maybe an eclipse... I didn't miss an eclipse happening, did I? That's going to be one of those things that people would be shouting at me about in comments for all of forever. Alright, next turn we're able to improve that. Hey, 15% extra influence. Obviously, like, we have to get to Cold Operator as soon as possible. It looks like we may be able to get Cold Operator by the second winter, maybe? Because we're going to get a ton of XP from completing the Megapole, right? I was really relying on the dust from searching the temple ruins in the eclipse. It really sucks that that has not worked that way. Okay, so now we're looking at 7 turns on this Megapole. It's still not bad, to be clear, but it's not great. I'll be very disappointed if we don't get it. Okay, so we can drop you back into the city. That lowers our military upkeep costs a little bit. And we've managed to get up to 18 pearls already, which is really cool. So we're going to definitely queue up the altar next. Where do I want to put our altar? I probably want to put the altar over here. I'm thinking that the altar is one that we want to be able to level up, right? Although if I wait until after the Megapole is finished to build the altar, I can build it here and get all those tiles. No, actually I think I want it here. And we have the ability to do this, but right now it's a pretty expensive proposition in terms of dust, right? Because it's going to provide for us only a single point of dust, and we're going to have to pay its upkeep. So I'm wondering if maybe I should wait. In 4 turns, we're going to get a unit out of you that I can sell. This Justiciar levels up in 4 turns. So actually, probably what we do is we convert this and immediately sell the unit from it, and then walk over here, grab that Justiciar, and have her be the second level 2 minor faction unit that we use to search this. Because this pulls in extra other resources, right? Like where it may help with the Megapole. It's only going to add 5 industry to the city. But we get extra science and stuff. Like I think it's worth doing the conversion now, immediately selling the unit, and then we can make some other moves. Also, it's XP. Let's get plus move. That point of movement does affect the whole army. That's really handy. And then we can even move people off of dust again. Yeah, let's do a turn or two of like full focus here. We're not going to be able to keep this running for very many turns, but like really get in there. So let's go pick up what's her face, the Justiciar. That doesn't actually move us down too much. If we're talking about 3 turns to completion, how many people can we move off and still have 3 turns? Alright, so we'll lose 29, and then we'll have to do it again. I wish this unit was spawning just a little bit earlier than it is. And we could, to be clear, we could just be selling units out of our garrison to make this work. Or we could be selling units that are in our army. But those units have a lot of value. I think it's reasonable to do it this way, rather than selling units off. We definitely don't want to take meritocratic promotion next, because it is 6 turns, though. We have stuff to do. Yeah, let's do weapons. I think it's weapons over armor. Do we have any heroes visible who have damage boost 2, so that I can see exactly how much it is? Because this is what we would get for our army from the trinket. So it'd be plus 8, plus 10% damage. Which... military units, we're looking at... It would take us to about 44 damage. I do not have a good intuitive sense of how much better or worse that is than just putting bows on everybody. The tier 2 titanium bow, I mean, I could look this up, right? We're 90 minutes into the episode, though. This is not a good stopping point. But, like, this is when we have to do this. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause the recording and go look at some other recordings, and then I'll just record another half hour and stitch it on. So, I'll be right back. Okay, so I just went and looked it up, and the value of a titanium crossbow is that it has 27 attack, 2 initiative, just like this one, and 18 damage. So, it is actually... It is better. It's quite a bit better, because it's another 10% or so damage on top of the damage that we get from the trinket, and also it has 9 attack. It's difficult to estimate the value of 9 attack, because it depends a lot on what the relation between your unit's attack and the enemy's defense is. If you're already at, like, close to double their attack, 9 attack has functionally no value, but if your attack is close to theirs and 9 takes you from being below to being above, I think that has value. Listen, it's been a little while since I've done a lot of testing on the attack system, although it seems like the way the attack odds table is generated, there may be some value in doing a new round of tests. But I do the titanium crossbows are definitely better than giving the army damage boost too. That said, it's also more expensive, right? The cost of a titanium crossbow, at least in the video I'm looking at here, is 40 industry and 3 titanium, whereas I believe the cost of the trinket will be 6 titanium. So we're talking about considerably more titanium for the army as a whole, and also increasing the cost of the units more. So I'm not sure that it is better. My read is that it's still better to go alchemical alloys than alchemical armor. You're paying more, but you're getting better units as a whole, and the value of the weapons, there's value for the weapons even when you don't have a hero leading the army. But this is a situation where I think the difference in value is close, a situation where I think we would benefit from not having to pay more for our units, because and especially retrofits and stuff, because we're already pretty tight on dust. And a situation where our benefit from the alchemical armor trinkets on Andom is unusually high, since we are having people work dust and stuff. So I think it's worth doing alchemical armor here, just for the experience of having done it, and, like, you know, we can gather some useful data. Let's go that away. And then after that, I think probably we're going to meritocratic promotion. We need to be a threat. Okay, 3 turns on this is not actually 3 turns. It's probably in the neighborhood of 4 turns, finishing it around turn 36. That's not bad. Winter could end any moment, which would be tremendous. That would be really neat. I think we're okay. I think we're doing all right. And we are at 7 population. Our food supply is actually decreasing right now. But we'll live. We'll get through this. Somehow we will manage. We do have to move people off, which means we're going to see the industrial megapole increase to 3 turns left to build. How many people can we pull off of that without increasing that number anymore? Okay, so we can actually maintain this for 3 turns. So we're actually looking at turn 36, like I said. Okay. Man, if we get this megapole like 1 turn from being done and it suddenly doesn't work out, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Okay, and religious fervor. Religious fervor is okay for us. So we can move like 6 people back over to the megapole. Can we get the megapole to 1 turn? We can. I'm kind of curious. How many people could we have working the megapole? So we can finish the Megapole next turn if we can make this work. You're going to level up next turn no matter what. So you may as well just get in this army. Yeah. So unfortunately, we can't perform this search right now. So we could sell something. Right, if we just sold one of our Justiciars, we would damage Andom's XP for a couple of turns. The trade-off would be that we would have an extra turn with the Megapole. So we're trading a little bit of Andom's XP for 25 extra industry. Well, not just 25 though, right? It's actually the full value of this expansion. Which is not super high beyond the 25 industry. I'm going to do it. 26, 22. Okay, you are the least valuable. And we are one turn off of a unit spawning here. Yeah, that's a shame. I really do think this is worth it, though, getting the extra turn. So, let's sell you. And then we will put these people on food instead. I think. We'll get everything worked out with our dust and stuff. I just really... Do I want these people still to work on dust? Hey, we're certainly getting more total value from them being on food. Alright, new Empire plan is going to be soon. We're doing really well on influence. So we're gaining 23 per turn. Obviously, I would love to do this. And that. So I think this is enough approval to make us fervent, right? We're at 70 now. We'll be at 65 after the Megapole goes up, I think. Oh no, the Megapole doesn't increase or doesn't decrease our approval level. Normal boroughs give you -10, not -5. Okay, so neither the Megapole nor the altar decrease our approval level. So yeah, actually plus 25% would put us at fervent. So, like, this would be great. Can we get to 264? We have 6 turns. To get to 264 in 6 turns would require us to have... What? Math. It would require us to have math, which I don't have. I just don't have the math. This gets us to 220-something. We can move a bunch of people over after the Megapole's finished. Yeah, actually, we're going to try to get there. I think we can get there. 264, right? Yeah. Okay. We can do this. And you're going to level up this coming turn, and then we'll search that, and we'll get this moving. We're making progress. We're making progress on a lot of different goals all at the same time. Okay, so we've got ourselves a sweet wonder of the world. Got this done. We've unlocked the Order of Asivir, which of course is a great piece of equipment. Yeah, minor faction quests are getting fiddled with. Make sure there are no armies in Erindla for 5 turns. We can almost certainly do that. If I close borders with blue, we will get that for sure. So now that that's done, what do you guys do? There's no place where we have unexplored ruins except for over there. I have no idea what's going on with the Dust Eclipse. Are we going to get one soon? Maybe this game, they're right at the beginning of summer, like right after winter? Who knows? And then we also have to figure out this stuff. So... we do want to get our altar done. I'm debating between the altar and just starting to build Nameless Guard. You know what, I'm entirely thinking of alchemical armor as like an accessory thing. We could also put armor on our we do gain access to strategic armor here. In my experience, strategic armor has not been better enough than iron armor at this point in the game, the tier 2 glass steel and titanium armor has not been super worth it, but well, I guess we'll see. It's possible that it's been rebalanced since I last made that that evaluation. It's also possible that it's different in the mod, right? Okay, so we're selling you. I know we need to do that. What else are we doing? We got to build some Nameless Guard. Let's, at the very least, give them the basic equipment. We're probably talking about shields again, because we are probably fighting other ranged units. 18-4 versus 18-10. Is it actually better? Like, are we more likely to get kills with the bow? Enough more likely that it would reduce our incoming damage? I don't know, maybe. And the Order of Asivir, because of course we would. Even though it is really that's a considerable increase in cost. What if we do... Hold on, let's do this. Let's get a Nameless Guard finished. Right about the time we finish that Nameless Guard, we'll have alchemical armor. We can consider maybe building the next one with some armor on. That'll give us some idea what we're doing. The altar's not super important until we get closer to winter, probably. You know, the altar's just... It's just not that important. It's extra resources, but not a lot of them. And we're not close to leveling up the Megapole or anything. Yeah. How much time are we talking about on a burrow? Because the burrow... The burrow has some value, right? If we can approach leveling up the Megapole, that would be pretty good. But we also have to get ourselves to 264 influence. So I need 192 influence from where I'm at. Sorry, no, 188. And I have 5 turns to get it. So we need our influence to be close to 40 per turn. Is 36 going to be enough? That's 180. We need this. That doesn't add a turn to that Nameless Guard. How many people can we pull to, like, food without adding a turn to that Nameless Guard? Because, again, population growth, right? Okay, this is how we're gonna min-max for this turn. It's nice to have population. It's nice to be able to do this. So what are you going to do? What is of value for you? Fighting guys is of value for you. Trying to go search that ruin is potentially of value. I don't want to go super far away from the temple ruins. I guess we can search these temple ruins with units from the garrison. Oh, also pearls. Right, finding pearls is valuable. So this is neutral, by the way. Like, we have a lot of stuff on our plate, but at some point I do want to get this. And this sea region is small enough... Yeah, we can see when we mouse over here, we're not showing the a glowing border here. The sea region is small enough that this fortress might be the only fortress in the region, so we might take this and lock it up. But I don't think that we should slow down our attempt to murder Blue for that. I think we should give this a real shot. I guess what we need to do, part of what we need to do with this army is scout Blue and see if it is in fact possible for us to kill them. Because if it is, we have to, right? Like, it's vital. I do think, though, that we're in a much better position this game on turn 35 than we were last game on turn 35. That may not be substantiated by the numbers, but I feel better. Which is maybe going to have an effect on performance, you know? My morale is better. So we haven't used any resource boosters, and we still can't. We're at 16 cost? Yeah, so... I'd really like to do this via the quest so that we could get that helmet. It's an okay helmet. It's not bad. I'm going to run up on their border and try to get vision of their city. So if we leave things just like this, we're talking about only a few turns until we run out of dust. Get another unit in 5 turns there, and then another 5 turns after that. We're getting one about every 5 turns between our 3 cities, our 3 villages. If we got access to the other part of the marketplace, we could sell off some of these luxury resources that we're not really getting any value out of. Oh, also, the citizen that was just born was put on influence, which is not actually the way we need that. We don't need that, right? We're going to get 36, and also we're going to get 156 more influence before we have to do the Empire plan the way we're looking at right now. Yeah, that's fine. Even more food. Never stop producing food. So they haven't closed their borders to us. We can just run in there. We will be able to get the information even if we can't get it from here, although we should be able to get it from here. Okay, so what we can see is that they have 8 units right here. Their units are not super upgraded, though. Not yet. We may be able to threaten them. We may be able to get something done here. I don't know. Oh, hey, that's a ruin right there. We can see the sparklies. It's also down a cliff. So running into their territory to get that is maybe not feasible, but I'm gonna poke my head in here. You know, they thought it was fine to run through my territory. And actually, the way this is constructed is interesting. This is their capital, by the way. If we took this, we could reasonably expect to be in charge over here. Like, right, we'd be able to move on to that next city pretty quickly. Maybe we can do this. Maybe we don't sell the next Justice here. We might have to. But it would be cool if we could instead just get her over here and, like, be part of the attack. Let's grab this ruin and then be ready to bounce, because I don't want to get attacked here. We found 160 dust for being at war against another empire in the next 10 turns. Oh, and our villages are getting removed. And they did, in fact, have enough units still to attack us. Which village was that? That's this one, okay. That's annoying. That's very annoying. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. We have to... We're going to have to actually patrol. Alright, so we retreat. Yeah, they don't have enough movement to catch me with that second army. Well, let's just get on our side of the border. Not super jazzed about this. Because that army now could just sweep over here and wipe out the rest of our villages, and we can't rebuild our villages and fight this war. We have to pick one. On, press the button. Press the button. Just get across the border before you get attacked. Remember, our health regen's actually pretty buff right now, thanks to the sisters that we have assimilated. Okay, so what we can see is that they have a ton of rumblers. They really have a lot of these guys, and they have 300 health each. Somebody is a great alchemist. That's Red again. Okay, whoever Red is, they're doing well. I am concerned. But at the moment, we don't have the ability to do anything about that. We have the ability to work on this. So let's work on this. Getting this done. Let's look at trinkets. We've finished our thing. So army damage boost 2 is 11. I thought it was like in the neighborhood of 6. This is actually... Boy, so it's not really... I guess it doesn't cost any dust to equip, but it's really not that much better than equipping a full army worth of dudes with weapons. It's still better, but it's not that much better. But yeah, we definitely want to do that. We can also get army initiative boost, which I think is less valuable. Faster pillage is interesting. So we've not talked about the pillage army action at all. It's not something you have access to by default. You have to earn it. But the way this actually works is that it gives fortification damage. It doesn't directly affect the pillage action. It just gives your units fortification damage. But the bad news is that it's not plus fortification damage on each unit in this army. It's just on this unit. Right? That's what it looks like. And that's very expensive for that. We don't really have a lot of... I guess your basic gear needs to be upgraded as well, though. Okay, hold on. I guess, actually, we may as well throw this on. There's no version of this where I don't give him army damage boost 2. We gotta think about some things here. It's definitely not safe to run a sister across this area, so we are just gonna sell her when she comes out of the village then. I'm trying to think here about how much dust we're gonna have. Because we're gonna have to do some retrofitting, obviously, to actually be able to be a threat. We're gonna have to trade out the Justiciars that are in that army for the ones that are in the garrison here, obviously. We're probably going to want Andom to be available as a combat unit for this push. What is the fortification value of a preacher? Is like nothing. It actually doesn't show the fortification damage value of units on the unit card. But obviously our army fortification value is fortification damage value is made up of the values of all the units in the army. Oh, okay, hold on. I suppose we know that we're going to go back to the city because we got to trade some units with that garrison. We're going to want to upgrade our unit designs a little bit here. Okay, no, the fortification, the faster pillage thing must affect all the units in the army. It's not written that way, but it has to be. So we can also give individual units trinkets that increase their damage and initiative. I don't think we'll be doing this too much. We're going to obviously have the order on all of our Nameless Guard. Meritocratic promotion is going to take 7 turns at this rate. We can't really afford to pull people off of influence. So right now our army is, in 3 turns rather, our army is 2 Nameless Guard, 2 Justiciars that we can refit, 2 Justiciars that we cannot refit, and a Preacher, and 2 Heroes. And we're kind of desperate for money. Like, these 2 may just get sold, I think. Their stats aren't really that bad. We're still early enough in the game that units using basic gear... by the way, I was corrected about something. The units that come out of the minor faction villages, I said they had no gear on. It turns out that, I am told at least, I didn't check this, but I trust it, that they do not have no gear. They have whatever appropriate level of basic gear. So like a unit that comes out right now would have, because we are in Era 2, would be fully equipped with Tier 2 iron gear. Which is part of why they sell so well, because they have that additional value. That's fine for this point in the game. As the game goes on, the gap between non-strategic gear and strategic gear gets wider. So, like, the difference between a unit that has Hyperium or Mithrite gear or a unit that's using Tier 2 Dust gear is massive. At this point in the game, the difference between Titanium and Iron isn't that great. So, for now, these units are still pretty okay. As the game goes on, they will get closer and closer to uselessness. Let's talk about re-equipping the Justiciar design. Although I suppose there's some concern that we may lose this design, right? Because if we lose both of the villages, well, let's choose to believe for now that that will not happen. If we were going to upgrade you, like the basic iron helmet is 12 health, 4% attack. We could instead get 12 health and 10% defense or health. I will say plus 4% attack is functionally nothing on a unit that has 30 attack. So honestly, like a glass steel helm is not a bad way to go, but we have to remember that we're trying to equip multiple units at a time here. So I think we want to be sword and shield instead of long spear, because again, we're dealing with archers and infantry. The rumblers are infantry. We are not fighting any cavalry. Like, what are we talking about in terms of retrofit cost if we just do that? About 80 each. It's going to help when we make our empire plan, because our approval is going to go up significantly, which means we're going to be producing more dust in the city. We're also going to go ahead and finish this altar, which is going to give us some more dust from the terrain. As if the Nameless Guard's going to be done in 3 turns either way, right? We're going to have to figure this out. Maybe we don't do the Empire plan that I was saying. Maybe we skip the building production thing and instead do, like, that? Because it looks like we're going to have some people on dust for a while after this. We have to be positive on dust. I'd love to get plus 30% attack. I do not think that that is feasible. We really want the 25 approval right now, and it really sucks to ever lose the 20% science, so maybe this is what we're doing. And if that's what we're doing, we could pull some people off of influence. Like, I really like this, but we're probably not going to be building that many buildings in the very near future, right? I assume that you do get that cost reduction on burrows, probably, but it's going to be burrows in units for a while. So yeah, maybe it's this. This would be 288, which we could do, maybe? So we are building units for a while, and I think we probably will be. Do that. Can I get to 288 from here? It's next turn. So I'd have to get 57 influence, which we can do. That's a pretty big empire plan. But it sticks around for 20 turns. 30% attack is significant. Yeah, okay. This is what we're doing. Yeah, I feel like this is the right thing to do. Man, we certainly have our work cut out for us, though, on this front. Rumblers are coming over just to make sure we're not getting any ideas. We got our Palladian, and now we will get 160 dust if we can level the city center up. It does have 2 districts adjacent to it already. Probably the smart money is here and here. Right, because this also almost gets the megapole leveled up. And in fact, we probably don't pursue that right away. Probably the next 2 districts are here and here. And then we can build over here afterward. That'll level up both of these at the same time. Alright, let's key in our Empire plan. Feeling pretty strong about that. Our altar is complete, so we can take a peek in here, and it looks like minus approval from approval anomaly, but plus dust from dust anomaly is winning massively, and prayers are very expensive at this point. So this is going to happen, and this is bad for us. Are our anomalies providing dust at all? Yes. Okay, so we will get that dust, but we will lose 10 approval when it becomes winter. And that's true for every winter for the rest of the game. So that's a bummer. These guys are threatening me. Marine 5 with 90 attack and 70 damage, and actually a considerable amount of health. Are we going to be able to kill these dudes? I'm not even sure. That said, we can cut off of approval for a little while. We have other things to worry about. We definitely cannot threaten them just for being in here. So come next turn, we can equip, or we can throw some people on dust and make them get us dust pretty efficiently. We could also equip this on Andom, although we would have to get some more glass steel to do it. Point 4 is tough. And kind of all of our glass steel has been going to order trinkets. Yeah, okay, I'm not seeing anything terribly unexpected here. These have been really good conversions. I will be very disappointed if we lose them. Maybe we should think about threatening pink instead because it'll be easier. Like, I would love to remove blue from the game. But if we went over here and we bashed pink a little bit... The thing is, any war that we get into, we have to be able to conclude, right? We have to be conclusive about. I don't know. But right now, I'm still thinking this is the plan, although we're going to have to either catch their armies out of position or fight through an awful lot of dudes to get there. But also, I think this is probably where we ought to stop for today. So I'm going to call it here. Let me know in the comments below if you have ideas about how we should pursue this. We're 5 turns off of meritocratic promotion. Our army is small and kind of weak, but we're getting there. I'm torn. I'm torn and indecisive, and I need your help. That's what I'm saying. Thank you all so much for watching. Talk to me, please, in the comments below, and come back next time to see if indeed it is possible for us to make some progress here. And we'll see you then.